Well, harnessing the power of a secure digital identity has become more important than ever before. As South Africa's COVID-19 cases continue to spike, it's become alarmingly clear that social distancing and effective work from home solutions will be a prerequisite for the foreseeable future. Experience shows that the most incredible technology available means nothing if it's not adopted. To overcome this incredibly complex technology must be presented to the user in a simple, intuitive and user-friendly format. To discuss the importance of being technology proficient during the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond is Carrie Peter, solution owner at Impression Signatures. Carrie, good afternoon to you and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Speak to us about the importance, really, of being able to use technology, especially during this time.
So, I mean, it's become abundantly clear that people who are able to continue working through this crisis need to be able to work from home or in socially distant environments where we can protect ourselves from COVID-19 and protect those who we love. So being able to use digital means, use the internet, use pretty much any connectivity technology available in order to communicate with people, but also to ensure that we are communicating with the correct people and the people that we are transacting with on the other side are the people that we expect to be transacting with. So that's why security or security-backed solutions, electronic signature solutions like Impression Signatures, need to be very usable for customers. People need to be able to understand how to use it because they've never had to use this technology before. But also, they need to be secure. We need to be able to make sure that the transactions that we are performing are between the two people who think that they need to be signing documents, submitting work, anything that needs to be completed by people. Needs to be, as I said, easily done and secured.
Absolutely. Well, we've seen online meetings become more and more popular since March. Is there any data that actually quantifies the use of platforms like your Zoom, your Google Teams, etc.?
Well, yes. I mean, Zoom released some data just towards the end of March, saying that they had gone from 2 million users or daily active users to 26 million active users in the space of 3 months. That is, in technology, that is an unbelievable spike. And maybe people have heard in the news that they did also have some technical issues around coping for that spike. But they were able to manage it and have released a lot of security patches to fix that. In addition to that, Teams also said, so Microsoft Teams have also had more than doubled their usage, up to 75 million daily active users.
Sure. Well, let's speak about businesses then. What sort of thinking should they be, considering in the next 12 to 18 months with COVID-19 with us for the foreseeable future?
I think that a lot of businesses, some businesses have really jumped on this, and I think that they've reaped the rewards. And some businesses have chosen to take an approach, a bit of a head in the sand approach, which I think is proving to be an unwise decision. But I think probably the most important thing that businesses need to understand is that people learn at different rates. So while at Impression we have a number of YouTube training videos that we find are very, very popular, we also find with users who need to be onboarded using very simple technology or simple introductions and then getting to know it and maybe some hands-on training is better suited to them. And I think for a lot of businesses, I think that all people are capable of upskilling to the point that they need to use technology the way they need to. It's just a point of meeting people where they're at and ensuring that like we have multiple training opportunities or training types available, that employees also need that sort of training.
Yeah. And would this training be able to happen remotely, or do you need that one-on-one interaction? For many of these companies who might be considering training, their workers to be able to work remotely.
So we have an amazing training solution that allows the tracking of continuous professional development points in the market and signing for those sorts of points. But there's a lot of training that has been happening online, and with things especially like continuous professional development points, where professionals are required to remain up to date with their training. Fraud can slip into these sorts of situations. In fact, the whole idea of moving from home, it relies a lot of trust from employers, from training facilities when it comes to issuing certified training. So that trust is very, very important to be maintained, to make sure that the right points are attributed to the right people, and that the people who are undergoing the training are actually able to experience and learn and move forward with the training that they have been receiving.
Sure. With a lot of things, now being done online, including contracts being signed online, we're seeing more and more e-signatures having to be used. Would you say that gives a chance to fraud? And how do you make sure as a business that you're able to implement this and it's secure?
Well, that is absolutely critical. I think that we've seen certainly a lot of increases now. I mean, technology is such that it moves forward, and the people who utilize it to take advantage of other people also are maybe a couple of steps ahead. So we've definitely found that there have been a lot of attempts at fraud, and things like secure electronic signatures are critical for maintaining the integrity of signed contracts, of agreements, of consent between people, businesses, employers, employees, partners, and solutions like impression signatures that come out of a cybersecurity background are we're at the forefront of ensuring that sort of fraud is mitigated to the best extent that we can over an internet connection.
Well, thank you so much for that. We'll leave it there. Carrie Peter, solutions owner at Impression Signatures. And at the top of the hour,